Hey everybody, Dr. Daryl Gioffre here. I'm the CEO and founder of ALKALINE and the author of Get Off Your Acid. So this is a book I launched back in January, and it's really about teaching you ways and strategies to lose weight, fight inflammation, reset your health and metabolism, and I would say most importantly, prevent chronic disease. Things like cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes. I mean, these are diseases 100 years ago were virtually non-existent, and now in today's modern toxic age have become epidemic, literally geometrically skyrocketing. So this whole book is really about teaching you strategies on how to alkalize your body to basically create a balanced state. And that brings me to today's topic of conversation, and I would say probably one of the most important things I will ever talk about, and it came from an article that was written about 2 weeks ago from Dr. Joseph Mercola. He's got a great website, great blog, been following him for years, but I've been literally getting hundreds of emails over the last couple of weeks from people all around the world asking me about what's the deal with this article. And here's the title. It was Alkaline Water or Hydrogen Water. Which one is better for you? So first and foremost, I don't want to talk about which one's better, which is not better, because in this book, I actually talk about hydrogen water. We have 7 steps to get off your acid, and the second step is literally all about hydration. That's how important it is. You hear me say this time and time again. The solution to pollution is dilution. So if you look on the very, very first word of the hydration chapter, drink alkaline water fortified with minerals and molecular hydrogen, okay? So what you're gonna find out in a minute or so is that I actually agree with nearly everything Dr. Mercola says in this article. And what I wanna do is I wanna chunk down this article piece by piece in terms of the things that he said. And there was one specific paragraph towards the end, which I think most people missed. And it's probably the most important thing that Dr. Mercola said. And again, I'm literally in complete agreement with him about this. But that aside, molecular hydrogen is one of the most important components of water. I'm literally drinking it right now. In the book, I co-wrote this chapter with Paul Baratero, literally one of the foremost authorities in the world on hydrogen. He's got this great company called Synergy Science. I love his Echo H2 water. It's something that I drink every day in my wellness center here at home. And really the reasons why hydrogen is so important is number one, it's got massive anti-inflammatory components to it. Number two, it is, I would say, the most powerful antioxidant in the body. Number three, it helps cognitive function. It increases the secretion of something called gastric ghrelin, and that ghrelin actually goes up into the brain past the blood-brain barrier, stimulates your brainstem, your hippocampus, hypothalamus, and really helps all different sorts of problems from dementia, Alzheimer's, cognitive issues, ADD. So again, I'm a huge advocate of hydrogen water. I recommend everybody do that. But today I want to get more into the issue of alkaline water versus alkalinity, and there's a difference between the two. So let me start by first saying he's got a line here that says, hydrogen ions, H+, are not to be confused with molecular hydrogen. And that's true. So molecular hydrogen is H2. Hydrogen ions, right? That's the acid component of everything in our life. All right, and I want to refer to something that most medical students, get literally first week of medical school, which we got in chiropractic college. All right, Guyton's textbook of medical physiology, which is literally the holy grail of all medical books, says this about the hydrogen ion concentration. And I'm not going to get too technical here with you today, but this is important. The regulation of hydrogen ion concentration, acidity, okay, is one of the most important aspects of homeostasis. So here we have the holy grail of medical physiology text saying that acidity levels in your body is literally critical to the balance of your life. All right, so this is why we really need to talk about this, and how many doctors are talking to you about pH, about what you need to do to actually balance your pH, because that's really what it's about. All right, when we talk about alkalizing your body, it is not about increasing the pH of your body. It's impossible. The pH of your blood is always tightly regulated at 7.4. Right, so there's a tight range between 7.35 and 7.45, but again, tightly regulated at 7.4. It's just like our body temperature. All right, right outside here in New York City, it's freezing cold today. So if I go outside, all right, and I'm wearing basically just a sweater like this, I'm gonna freeze. It's like 30 degrees out, right? So what happens? My temperature is 98.6. It's a thermostat. it needs to tightly regulate that within a very narrow range. If that number goes too high or too low, guess what happens? We eventually will die, right? So if the body starts to get really cold, I'll start to shiver. The body creates its own energy by using my own resources to keep my temperature stable at 98.6. Does that make sense, everybody? Right? But you got to get out of the cold. If you don't, eventually your body can't use its resources. It's going to die. All right? That is exactly how the pH of your blood works. Right? It's not about raising the pH of your body. So we'll get more into that as we go into the article. So as we go on, why alkaline water doesn't work. So this is what they say. Because you cannot alter the pH of your blood and body this way. All right, I agree with that. It's exactly right. And we're going to show you a little demonstration in a second that actually proves why alkaline water is not the be all. So remember, it's not about alkaline water, everybody. It's about getting off your acid through lifestyle choices to make your body healthier. Right? When I talk about alkalinity, I'm talking about increasing the mineral content in your diet, the fiber content in your diet, and decreasing the sugar content in your diet. That's why you can have something like lemons, which are not alkaline, they're a citric acid fruit, right? And you can have oranges, which is a citric acid fruit. So we don't care what these foods do outside the body. All we care about is what these foods do once you consume them, once your body metabolizes them. So a lemon, which is high in minerals, high in fiber, lots of nutrients, but low in sugar, has a highly alkalizing effect, right? They're alkaline forming to your body, not alkaline, alkaline forming to your body. The oranges, on the other hand, are acid forming. Why? What's the difference between the two? It's the sugar content. Both lemons, limes too, grapefruits, and oranges are high in minerals, high in fiber. They're high water content fruits. But what's the difference? The lemons, low in sugar, oranges, high in sugar. And the sugar is the problem, all right? When you consume sugar, it ferments, it turns to acid and alcohol, and it creates inflammation in your body. Insulin spikes, your body stores fat, and then there's a knock-on effect to all your other body's hormones in the body. So that is really what we need to look at when we look at the foods that we're consuming, right? It's really about what they do once your body metabolizes it. And again, just like Dr. Mercola said, your body regulates the pH in a very narrow range because all our enzymes are designed to work at a pH of 7.4. If our pH varied too much, we wouldn't survive. That's the whole point. If that pH dips by more than a point, you're dead. So your body has this elaborate buffering system built in place. And we talk about that in this book, Get Off Your Acid. There are literally 6 different buffer systems from your adrenal glands, from your kidneys, from your breathing, okay? This is why we need to breathe. And again, this experiment in 1 second is going to show you if you're not breathing, it is seriously one of the most detrimental things you could do to your body because you're acidifying your body. We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide gas. So the oxygen is the most important nutrient of the body. We all know we can go without food for 40 days, without water for a few days, but you can't go without oxygen for more than a few minutes. All right, so when we breathe in oxygen, that's the fuel. The waste product is the carbon dioxide gas, which is carbonic acid. That's the waste. So breathing is such an important way to neutralize the acid. It's another buffering system. In fact, 70% of the total toxic load in your body is actually regulated by your breathing. So are you breathing to be alive? That's the thing. Many people breathe, but it's shallow, it's up in the chest, rather than deep down into the diaphragm. So that's something that we really want to really talk about and enforce every day. So stop. If you're having a stressful day or a stressful lifestyle, you have to get some breathing because it's a buffer of acid. Minerals, fat. So again, the body has 6 different buffering systems, which we go into detail in the book, and you don't have to think about it. All right, so it doesn't matter. You could be literally pumping these acidic foods, chemicals from the environment, toxins from everywhere. And again, we live in a toxic environment. In 1 year's time, the average person is encountering 80,000 toxic chemicals, even in utero, right? A baby through the placenta, they've studied this, the EWG, Environmental Working Group, that the average baby is exposed to 280 different toxins, of which over 100 can cause cancer. So here's the thing. If we didn't have a buffering system to deal with these toxins, we'd die. So your body has this system, just like your temperature, to regulate its pH. So again, this is the most important thing I'm going to say. The whole purpose of putting alkaline foods in your body is not to raise your pH. It's to take stress off your body's buffering system so it doesn't have to work so hard doing the regulating on its own. Does that make sense? Why do you think people are so tired? It's the first stage of acidosis. There's 5 stages. Number 1 is fatigue, right? Because the body's working so hard. Just like a filter in your air conditioner. If you never cleaned out the crap or the gunk, think about how much output, how much energy that air conditioning unit would have to create to keep that room temperature at, say, 70 degrees on a hot summer day. You gotta clean out the filter. Otherwise, the air conditioning unit is gonna break down. So this is the problem. People are acidifying their bodies every day with acid-forming foods, sugar, grains, artificial sweeteners, too much protein, Coca-Cola and coffee and carbonated water, processed foods. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And what's happening is they're putting all this stress on the buffering system. And the buffering system becomes literally depleted. And that's when chronic disease happens. So let's move on. All right. So understanding pH. The real reason why alkaline water is a scam is that it has no buffers to maintain its pH. And that's true. True alkaline water would have an alkaline buffer like baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate. By the way, the number 1 ingredient in our alkaline daily minerals, which is also our body's natural alkaline buffer. Your body actually creates this to neutralize acid. And it's been shown in research that as we age, especially over the age of 40, the bicarbonate system actually starts to go down. Dr. Mark Sirkis talks about this all the time. So it's really about bicarbonate and actually increasing the minerals. It's not alkaline water, everybody. It's the minerals that acts like a buffer to neutralize the acid. So here's the most important thing, and I think this is the actual paragraph that everybody missed. This was towards the end of the article. Alkaline versus alkalinity. These two words are not interchangeable, and from a scientific standpoint, as they refer to different things. To alkalize your body, here's the most important thing we're going to say today. To alkalize your body means that you give the body the ability to maintain a proper pH. But in order to do that, you need water with alkalinity, not alkaline water. Okay? Let me say that again. In order to do that, you need water with alkalinity, minerals, not alkaline water. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. pH merely measures the degree of acidity or alkalinity, not the capacity to neutralize acid. That's what it's about, everybody, increasing your ability to neutralize acid. And alkaline water is not going to do that. Minerals do. You also don't alkalize your body based upon pH, but rather alkalinity. What I mean by that is, we talked about the lemons before. Lemons have a highly acidic pH, right? They're citric acid. If I have a cut on my finger and I put lemon juice on it, it's not going to feel good, everybody. However, when I put lemon juice in water, fresh lemon juice, organic, and I drink that, it's going to have a highly alkalizing effect to the body because of the mineral content. All right, and that's what he's talking about. Alkalinity measures the ability to neutralize acid with buffers, which are the sum of bicarbonates. Alkaline mineral compounds include calcium, potassium, magnesium, sodium, and it's not a coincidence that the top 4 minerals in our alkaline daily minerals, our most popular product, are those 4 specific minerals. And let me just tell you, everybody, when you're putting minerals into your body, it needs to be in a powder form. When these dissolve in water, they assimilate into your body, into your blood, where they can have this neutralizing effect, a buffering effect, literally within 30 seconds. When you take a tablet, which a lot of people do, it's literally expensive urine. You're literally peeing out those acid, those components in that vitamin, all right? Because your body cannot break down and assimilate that tablet the way that it needs to. And the research shows that when you take a tablet, the most you're going to absorb is 10 to 30%. All right? The rest of that becomes excreted out the body. And that's assuming that your gut, the microbiome, is working 100%, and nobody's is. All right? So that is why we got to move all of our supplements when you take them into a powder form or a liquid form that literally becomes infused into your body, into your blood within just a few seconds. So you need to, so alkaline minerals, so we talked about the 4 minerals. You need to add alkalinity to your body, but you need to realize that pH has no relation to that alkalinity like we just mentioned. Spinach juice has a pH of 6.4. All All right, the scale goes from 0 to 14. 0 is pure acid, going to burn a hole through metal. 14 is pure alkaline, that's not good either. 7 is neutral. So the pH of your blood is regulated at 7.4. So we're saying here that spinach juice has a pH of 6.4. So that's on the acid side. But spinach is highly alkalizing to your body. It's one of the most powerful things that we put into our body. We literally, in my family, eat spinach every day. We juice it, we eat it. Salads, smoothies, soups, all right? Because it has an alkalinity of 2,250 milligrams per liter. If you put 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of water, sodium bicarbonate, you would have 1,500 milligrams of alkalinity. So that is why dark green leafy vegetables are your most powerful neutralizers of acid. Spinach, kale, watercress, chard, romaine lettuce, wheatgrass. The darker it is, the higher the chlorophyll content. You're literally drinking the blood of the plant, and that is where your minerals come from. But when we actually use something like this, which is a dehydrated greens powder like we have in our naked and our citrus and berry greens, you're getting 21 of those different superfoods in a highly concentrated form. So let's get to this most important thing. So I'm going to actually show you right now a really cool example, a chemistry experiment, I feel like Mr. Wizard here, of how this works. The difference between alkaline water and alkalinity, and why minerals is the most important thing. And again, this is in full agreement with Dr. Mercola is saying in this article. Okay, and so I think that's a very cool experiment right here to show you the difference between alkaline water and alkalinity, why breathing is so important, and why minerals is your most powerful way to neutralize acids. So no matter what your day looks like, you can have a stressful day, which creates unhealth in your body, inflammation. You can have coffee, you can have wine, you can have chocolate, you can have too much animal protein, you can have grains. Whatever that processed food is, that acidic food, that inflammatory food, you need to have these minerals circulating in your body, in your blood, in your tissues to neutralize the acid.
Right here,
so let's show you
I'm going to take a bottle of alkaline water. This one, for demonstration purposes today, is essential water. If I'm going to buy a bottle of water when I go out, this is the one I'm going to buy. Out of all the waters out there, hands down, it's the best one. So I do recommend this one. I do avoid bottled water. I always like to carry a glass bottle or a stainless steel bottle because I got to move away from the plastics. But again, if you're out and you need something, I'd rather have you drink something than go thirsty or dehydration, right? So this one on the bottle says pH 9.5. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the water in our glass here. And then what we're going to do is take some pH indicator drops. So basically what an indicator drop is, when you put this in the water, it's going to change the water, the color of whatever pH that water is. So you can see it went from a clear water color to a purple color. And when we look on the pH chart here, you can see that the purple has a pH of like 10.0. So this is a high alkaline water. So when you look at the scale goes from 0 to 14. 0 is like pure acid, can burn a hole through metal. 14 is pure alkaline, that's not good either. 7 is neutral. So things above this chart are alkaline, things below are acid. So the pH of this essential water is about between 9.5 and 10 or so. Again, high alkaline water.
This is the difference, everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this straw and I'm going to blow in the most pervasive acid in your body, carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas, which is our exhale, has a pH of 6.0, which is also known as carbonic acid, okay? This is why we gotta breathe. And in my 7 steps to get off your acid, there's a reason why oxygenation, breathing, is number 1. Because again, 70% of the total toxic load in your body is removed by your breath. So if you're not breathing, you are acidifying your body. So watch what happens. Can you see it starting to change color? All right, I'm a little bit of a shade darker right now, but if you look, that color changed from purple, pH 10, to about a pH of 6.0. All right, take a look right here. And no matter how many more times I breathe into that water, that color is not going to change because that is the pH of carbon dioxide gas. That is why alkaline water is not a buffer of acid. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that there are therapeutic benefits of alkaline water. So again, when we drink water, we drink hydrogen water, all right, from my good friend Paul's company, which is Synergy Science. And we'll put a link in there if anyone wants to have more information on that. But we also drink alkaline water. We have ours defaulted at a pH of 9 or 9.5 or so, right? There are therapeutic benefits. What happens is they're important for protecting your enzymes, your digestive enzymes. And when you're drinking on an empty stomach, you have to remember, you don't have a pool of stomach acid sitting there in your gut. Your body makes that hydrochloric acid on demand based on what you're eating. So if I'm eating a big steak, I need more acid to dissolve that steak and break that down so that we can absorb those nutrients. You have to remember, you're not what you eat, you're what you digest, absorb, and assimilate. So your body needs more acid. And here's the problem. As we get older, the body produces less and less hydrochloric acid in the stomach. That, folks, is the #1 cause of acid reflux in the body. People think it's too much acid. That's not true. It's too little acid. And that is supported by 16,000 journal articles. So what happens is that acid comes up and basically starts to cause issues in the esophagus and the throat. And that's the opening story of my book. That's my dad's story. You know, people who know me and kind of what my powerful mission is, my dad was diagnosed with esophageal cancer about 3 years ago, and he passed away last year. And it all came from this acid coming in. And literally, the day I launched my company at ALKALINE, the doctor said, the cause of your dad's cancer, too much acid. So this is serious stuff, folks. We got to get our gut and our whole microbiome in a better health. But remember, it's too little acid, but that acid does creep up, creating that reflux. So how do we create more acid? What happens is when we drink alkaline water, the combination of NaCl, salt in the body, plus carbon dioxide, CO2, plus H2O creates in that chemical equation HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, which is creating more acid so we can digest more, and NaCHO3, which is sodium bicarbonate. So this is why drinking alkaline water can actually produce more bicarbonate in your body. It's got to be done on an empty stomach. But here's what also happens. You have something called the pyloric sphincter here, which separates your stomach from the intestines, and that is highly acidic. So when that alkaline water comes in, right, remember, most of the time there is no acid there, or very little. It basically pushes that right past it into the small intestine, from there into the blood, so that there is bicarbonate made. So I do believe that there are therapeutic benefits to alkaline water, but the most important takeaway you need to know about today is that alkaline water does not buffer or neutralize the acid. Minerals do, and here's how. So we have our acid water now, right? This is why you got to breathe, everybody. We talk about different strategies on how to do that in the book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our minerals here. So this is a little scoop. This is maybe 1/4 of what you would normally take in one scoop. That's why I'm going to show you how potent this is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those minerals into that water. And watch what happens. Boom, just like that. Goes right up to that high alkaline state. But here's the difference. Let's put the straw back in. Now I'm gonna reintroduce that acid one more time. Watch what happens. All right, I think you got the point before I pass out right now. That color is not changing, everybody. Minerals is how you buffer acid. That is alkalinity. That's the difference between alkaline water and alkalinity in the body. That's why you gotta eat alkaline forming foods. That's why you gotta eat healthy fats, avocados, dark green leafy vegetables. This, folks, is why we alkalize. So everybody out there is missing the point. It is not about increasing pH. It has nothing to do with that. It's about giving your body the tools to help itself regulate that pH to 7.4 on its own. And remember, the body's going to do it. But the body was never meant to deal with the onslaught of chemicals in our modern acid age from everything. So limit the stress if you can, but give your body the tools that it needs to deal with the acid on a regular basis. So every morning I get up, my whole family, including my 4-year-old Braden, my 1-year-old Aaliyah, my wife Chelsea, we have a scoop of daily greens. All right, this is a great way to get minerals into the body. Then throughout the day, I'll have another glass. And then at night, about 30 minutes before I go to bed, I have a scoop of the minerals, and now you know why. So no matter what your day is, no matter how healthy you eat, or no matter how much you derail, it's about giving your body assistance, giving it the necessary nutrients and minerals to help its job to buffer the acid. And here's what you need to know. If you are having sleeping issues, skin issues, you have a mineral deficiency. If you're craving sugar, you have a mineral deficiency. All right? The body is most acidic between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. That's why I want you to take these at nighttime, just before bed. Number one, it's very calming to your nerve system. Those 4 minerals: magnesium glycinate, calcium citrate, which by the way is in a 1-to-1 ratio. All right? Potassium bicarbonate and sodium bicarbonate. Those are your 4 crucial alkaline minerals. They're very calming to the nerve system. If you take these during the day, it's not going to make you sleepy. It's going to make you focused. Tremendous mental clarity. If you take these after a workout, that's going to neutralize the lactic acid. So again, your body doesn't have to neutralize that on its own. I'm a huge fan of spinning. All right, my wife goes to SoulCycle. We have a Peloton at home, but spinning creates a lot of lactic acid. All right, so if you're not drinking minerals, your body's going to plateau. You might actually gain weight because your body needs to neutralize all that acid it makes, because spinning is a highly anaerobic exercise. As much as I love it, we do it all the time. But once we drink the minerals right after, we're giving our body the tools it needs to deal with the acid so we can get the benefit of that awesome exercise. So at night, taking these before you go to bed, your body has these tools to neutralize the acid when it's most acidic, between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's what you do. So people that are waking up during that time, if you pee in the middle of the night, you're peeing your way to better health, because your kidneys are one of your main filters to get rid of the acid. So what's happening is your body's getting up during this high acid time to get rid of the acid. So when you take these minerals and your body neutralizes the acid, all right, what's going to happen is your body's going to get a good night's sleep. Not because they make you sleepy, but because your body has the nutrients to neutralize all those things it might have dealt with from the day. And it's not just about acidic foods. Healthy people need this too, right? Metabolic acids, acids from everyday life. From breathing, the body creates carbonic acid. There's uric acid, all right? There's lactic acid. So our bodies are alkaline by design, but we're acidic by function. What I mean by that, just like a car gets gasoline, the waste product is carbon monoxide gas. Everything in your body, every cell has to get rid of waste, but your body needs to detoxify, all right? We call that autophagy, and that is what alkalizing is all about, right? Giving our body all these tools to deal with the acidic byproducts of living, of life. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. If you have any questions, let me know. But to sum it all up, it was a great article. I mean, complete agreement. I think people just didn't really understand it. People are not biochemists. So when you throw an article out like that, people read the headline, they think all of a sudden alkaline's bad. But what you need to understand, it's the most important thing of your body. That number 7.4 is the most important number of your body. And if you're not paying attention to that, it will create some issues in your body. All right, 5 stages of acidosis. What's the 5th stage? Your body gets chronic disease. Let's not even let it get to that stage. Let's stay ahead of that by putting these alkaline forming foods into the body and decreasing the acidic foods. Now, it's not about deprivation, everybody. I'm giving you full permission to enjoy your life. It's about moderation. If you put 80% of these alkaline forming foods into your body and no more than 20% of these acid forming foods, you're going to be fine. All right, so if you love chocolate, have some chocolate. If you want a glass of wine, have a glass of wine. If you want a cup of coffee, have a cup of coffee. But give your body the tools it needs to deal with the acidity, because coffee, all right, is highly acid forming. Your body needs about 20 glasses of water to just neutralize all the acidic components of that. Who's going to do that? Nobody. All right, but if I have a glass of greens before that, I have what I need to deal with that. So that's the name of this game. It's about balance. It's about enjoying your lifestyle. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to deal with what life throws at us. And anticipating. You never know the road ahead. And I love that. Tony Robbins talks about anticipation is the key to having a healthy life. Know the road ahead, but don't let your body wait. Don't be reactive. Don't wait for the toothache to take care of your teeth. All right, you get my point? All right, everybody. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You can make a post below, and I'm here to help you in every which way to get you on the road to health and just to live the life of your dreams. So with that said, check us out. Our tags are Get Off Your Acid. The book is Get Off Your Acid. The website is getoffyouracid.com. Love and appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.